and left through the back door. Riley and Mason acted like nothing happened, but I could tell they were tense. I started Googling the Henderson family and their address. Found some old news articles about drug arrests in the neighborhood. Found Emma's name in a court document from 2 years ago for possession charges. The final straw was last Tuesday. I was babysitting and heard cars pulling up outside. Multiple cars. Emma and her husband weren't supposed to be home for hours. I looked out the window and saw 4 different cars parked on the street, all with people sitting in them just waiting. I told the kids we were going to play a game where we hide upstairs and be really quiet. We went to Riley's room and I locked the door. Then I heard people coming in through the back door, going straight to the basement. I could hear them moving around down there, talking in hushed voices, moving what sounded like heavy boxes or furniture. This went on for about 20 minutes before they all left. When Emma got home that night, she seemed more nervous than usual. She kept asking if anyone came by, if the kids behaved, if I heard anything weird. I lied and said no, but I could tell she didn't believe me. I went home that night and couldn't sleep. These kids were living in a house where their parents were clearly running some kind of operation out of the basement. The kids knew about it, which is why they were so quiet and weird. They were probably scared. I thought about just quitting, but I kept thinking about Riley and Mason. They were good kids, stuck in a bad situation. If I just disappeared, who knows what would happen to them? So I called the police. I told them everything. The weird behavior, the mysterious basement, the stranger I saw, the multiple cars, all of it. They said they'd look into it and asked me not to babysit there anymore until they figured out what was going on. 2 days later, I saw on the local news that police had raided a house in my neighborhood and arrested 4 people for running a drug distribution center. They found pounds of drugs, cash, and weapons in the basement. It was the Henderson house. Emma called me that night from jail, screaming at me through the phone about how I'd ruined her family and destroyed her kids' lives. Child Protective Services took Riley and Mason, and they're now living with Emma's sister in another state.